What the Falcons do, we rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc and a Life On Sports fan, coming back to you with Week 12 predictions for the NFL. Went a respectable 10-4 last week. That puts me at a total of 107-59 for the season. Not too bad. Basically, for every 2 games I get right, I get 1 wrong, so that's more or less average. I'm at the 90th percentile for the ESPN Pigskin Pick'em. We're going to go ahead and jump in because the Falcons are on a bye week. They needed it this week. They're 6-5, still winning the division, but it feels like they're at the bottom of it right now because everybody else seems to be on the rise and we seem to be on the fall. I don't want to get into it. That's frustrating the crap out of me. It's been a frustrating thing for years as a season ticket holder. We are tied for 3rd for the longest streak of losing seasons in the NFL, which sucks. It looks like Denver is probably going to break their streak this year. The Jets are probably going to continue theirs, but we're very rapidly approaching being, second for teams that have not won, had a winning season, and it really does suck. Well, let's just jump into it. I don't have a lot of energy for this today, so let's just go ahead and talk about it. Thursday Night Football, I got the Steelers at the Browns. There ain't much to say about this. The Browns suck. The Steelers are good. Better than I thought they were going to be. They're probably going to win their division after being in Baltimore this past week. The Browns just are terrible. There's nothing good or redeeming about their organization. Their first-round picks are still gone, I believe, from the Deshaun Watson trade. Deshaun Watson's out, and they don't have a way to get rid of his contract. You have entered the factory of sadness once more. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we're going to go to the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Chicago losing this past week in spectacular fashion to a blocked field goal in Green Bay. Had a chance to end 10 straight losses, and you ended up losing again in Green Bay. The last time y'all won was 2019. Minnesota's still playing pretty good football overall. Sam Darnold's starting to look a little bit more human overall. They have a lot of weapons. But ultimately, I don't know. There's something about this. There's a lot of cold weather going on right now. It is going to be at Soldier Field. And Chicago, I just feel like has a chance to get the win this week. I am going to go with the minority pick here, and I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears to make the NFC North look a little bit more like I think it should in terms of final standings. Then we're going to go Detroit Lions at the Indianapolis Colts. Detroit's playing incredible football. They're throwing up 50 burgers left and right here. I don't have anything else to say. The Indianapolis Colts, good win this past week. They're staying alive. They should still be alive even with a loss this week for like a wild card spot, but it's going to get harder and harder. Ultimately, 10-1 Detroit Lions after this week. Give me the Detroit Lions. Then we're going to go to the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Miami with Tua looks like the team that we thought they should be. Their defense is still a little suspect, but we know the New England Patriots don't have anything for them. We know that their offense is struggling. We know their defense is good. Probably it's going to be a little bit lower scoring game. It is in Miami, so that does favor Miami. Give me the Dolphins here. I'm thinking something more along the lines of like 24-14 when it's all said and done. A good win for Miami, but it's going to be tough sledding, and probably a lot of those points are going to come towards the end of the game. Then we're going to go Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Giants, and nothing would make me happier than to see Tampa Bay lose this game. I can't fathom a world where they actually do, although you do have Daniel Jones getting benched. We'll see if that provides any juju to the New York Giants. I just don't see that it's going to happen. Daniel Jones is going to be out this year. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off of a bye. Yes, it's a little colder right now. Yes, they're going to New York to play this weekend. It's probably going to be in the 30s, which is, again, drastic difference from where Tampa Bay usually sits most of the time. But I am going to ultimately pick Tampa Bay to put a lot of pressure on the Falcons here with a win this week in New York, just like I would expect the Falcons to win against New York at home later on in the season. Then we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Commanders. Great game against Philadelphia Eagles. Couldn't pull it out. You're losing for a lot of the game, but again, showed that your defense is coming alive and you can be a good team. You can compete with anybody, but Philadelphia is just coming along at the right time. That said, you're still better than the Cowboys. Cowboys are struggling right now, so I don't see a world where you lose this game, especially in Washington. Injury bug can always hit, and I don't ever hope for that to happen, but, other than injury, I just don't see how Washington loses this game. Then we're going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs finally getting a loss, but they're going to get a bounce-back win in a big way at the Carolina Panthers because Carolina also sucks. So I don't have a lot else to say about them. Carolina is coming off of a bye. That's probably the one good thing that you can say about it. And I don't think that Kansas City is just going to blow them out of the water. I think it could potentially be a close game, especially with Chuba Hubbard being healthy and running really well right now. Kansas City, though, ultimately, this is a game where you have like the number 2 or 3 team going up against the number 32nd team in the league. There's not a world where they should lose, but I can't envision one. So I am going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs, much like everybody else. This is probably the trap game of all trap games, though. So this is one that people in Vegas are probably counting on to be a solid win. I wouldn't do that. I would stay away from this game. Something feels funny about Charlotte right now, and I would stay away from this game if I were anybody who's betting. But I am going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we're going to go Tennessee Titans and Houston Texans. Houston Texans manhandling the Dallas Cowboys this past week, being the undisputed rulers of Texas. Tennessee Titans, again, you suck. There's not any other way to say it. You're terrible. You're bad. Will Levis is bad. You don't have a good backup in Mason Rudolph. Nothing about this organization is functional. You feel like the Falcons did with bad quarterback play, but also less good supporting characters around you. So, given the Houston Texans here, I don't have anything else to say about that one. Then we're going to go Denver Broncos at Las Vegas Raiders. Denver putting up almost 40 points on the Falcons this past week. Sean Payton has this team looking good again. They struggled early. We thought they would struggle early, but they have found their rhythm. Bo Nix looks really good right now. Sean Payton has found his next Drew Brees potentially here, although that's probably going to take a little bit of time to be proven true. Las Vegas Raiders, yeah, you're a lot like the Tennessee Titans right now. You're struggling. You suck. I have no faith in you. Give me the Denver Broncos to destroy the Raiders in Las Vegas. Then we go San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers. And this is one that I've struggled with because the 49ers are not super healthy, but there's a history here. The 49ers have been the bane of Green Bay's existence for quite some time. And Green Bay found a way to sneak a win against the Bears at home this past week. They didn't particularly look good. I think the 49ers defense is a better test than the Bears. And I think that the 49ers offense, when healthy, when firing on all cylinders, is better than the Bears as well. And again, this is one that has a lot of history and it has a lot of meaning because Arizona right now is 6-4 in the division. Seattle beat San Francisco this past week. This is one where San Francisco, it's time to put up or shut up. So the 49ers need to win this week. And because of that, not because I really have a lot of faith in them, but I think that the 49ers, with the history and the beef that they have with the Green Bay Packers, with Green Bay not really playing the best football right now, finding ways to win, but not playing the best football right now, I just feel like the 49ers are going to come into Green Bay and they're going to do what they've done the last few times and make the Green Bay Packers really upset. So, sorry, Tom Grassi. This one is going to have a lot of meaning for him. He's going to be fired up. I can't wait to see his reaction to this game one way or another. But I do think the 49ers are ultimately going to win this game. And then we're going to go Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks and get another game that has a lot of divisional meaning here. And this is truly a 50-50 toss-up right now. Arizona's playing really good football, particularly when they are at home. When they're away, it's a little bit more suspect. Because it's being played in Seattle, and for no other reason, I am going to give Seattle a little bit of a boost here. They beat the 49ers this past week. I didn't really think they were going to do that. And by beating the 49ers, I do think that the 49ers are the team to beat in their division, but this is probably going to be one of the closest divisions we see all year long. The Rams, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the 49ers are all within 2 games of each other at the midway point of the season, really almost at the 2/3 of the way point of the season. So this is going to be one that has a lot of meaning behind it. I think that ultimately Seattle is going to get the win here. They're going to keep the division chaotic. So give me the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Then we go to Sunday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Rams. If this was being played in Philadelphia, I would give it to the Eagles hands down. As it stands, I actually think this is like a 55-45 in favor of the Eagles, but I'm going to actually end up picking the Rams because Puka Nacua is healthy. Cooper Kupp is healthy. Kyron Williams is healthy. Stafford is playing pretty decent football overall. He's getting a lot up there in years. He doesn't have as much zip on the ball. But in LA, I feel like this team has a good shot at winning. I think they are a team that you can't sleep on. They feel like a team that is trying to make a comeback from a bad start to the season with a lot of injuries. They are getting hot at the right time, and they are still very much alive in this division. Again, everybody has 5 wins at least in this division right now. With tiebreakers and everything, everybody's within 2 games of each other. This is going to be a really pivotal week. If the 49ers lose, Seahawks and Rams win, it's going to put the 49ers at the bottom of the division, which is not somewhere that they have been for some time. But I am ultimately going to pick the Rams for this one. America does not agree with me on that one. This is definitely going to be an upset game, but I'm going to say that it certainly could be the Eagles. I feel a little bit better about the Eagles overall. If you were going to be making more safe bets, I would go more with the Eagles. There's just some weird gut feeling that I have where the Rams are going to find a way to win this one. Then we go Baltimore Ravens at the LA Chargers. Baltimore coming off of a hard loss to Pittsburgh. They didn't really look good throughout the entire time. The LA Chargers are at home in LA, so you're going to have back-to-back primetime games in LA here. But Chargers, I just don't feel good about. They're playing decent football right now. I just don't know that they played anybody that I would look at and say, yeah, you outplayed them, or you showed that you are a good quality team, that you are a competitor for the Super Bowl this year. I haven't seen that, and I have seen that at times from Baltimore. And because of that, I am going to pick Baltimore to win this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what the current spread is on it. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people are picking. It's a 3-1 pick for the Baltimore Ravens to the Chargers. I think it should be closer to a 60-40 split on that one. But anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know how you guys are doing. We're not anywhere close to hitting 500 subscribers by the end of this season. I had said that this was going to be kind of a make it or break it season. We'll see if I get to the end here and get 500 or not. I've enjoyed making these videos. It's been a nice distraction and just a way to vent and talk to people and at least put my face out there, put my thoughts out there from hopefully a more moderate perspective as a Falcons fan, somebody who's not super extreme one way or another. YouTube tends to like more extreme views. In my line of work, I don't have the real ability to do extreme views, though. It's just not really conducive with what I do for a living. I'm hopeful that things pick up. If they don't, I might go through the draft of this next season, but ultimately, this may be my last season covering the Falcons as a YouTuber. I've enjoyed the journey. I've learned a lot, but this may ultimately be my last season doing this. I've done it for 3 years now. It's been an interesting journey, but ultimately, I'm not seeing the gains that I would have liked to at this point. I know a lot of that is my own fault, not knowing how to edit, not knowing how to do a lot of the things that really are time-consuming in video making. Just literally, with the job that I've got, I don't have the time for that. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes, but I'm thinking this might possibly be my last season covering the Falcons. It's already a little harder to make videos right now, and we'll see. I'm always going to be a Falcons fan. I am going to hopefully not be sitting in the pit of misery at the end of this season. Falcons are not giving me any confidence in that right now. We should be going into the best part of our season with the easier portion in front of us. Seems like it's going to be a little bit harder than we thought it was going to be. But anyways, guys, that's just a little bit of a rant from me and a little bit of a notice that I might not continue this for much longer. But thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. To the almost 250 of you who have followed me so far, I genuinely appreciate it. I hope that we continue to grow this channel. If we don't, this may be getting close to the end of that journey, but I do appreciate you guys and all the support that you've given me so far. And as always, rise up.